Admiral Vector's scales rippled with unease as lines of data scrolled rapidly. Across his command console, the mighty dreadnought Eternal, Dominion had patrolled this sector for nearly 300 years without a single major incident. But now, against all logic, a human warship had appeared. "Confirm identification," Vector hissed to his sensor officer. "Confirmed, Admiral. It's the UESS Relentless, a human destroyer-class vessel. Mass roughly 10,000 tons. Estimated crew 200. Vector's four eyes widened in disbelief. 200? His own ship carried over? 15,000. Trained warriors from across the Galactic Empire. Yet something deep inside him whispered, "Danger." "Battle stations," he ordered, "and send an emergency transmission to Imperial High Command." Code Crimson. His second officer, a young scholar named Pra, turned to him puzzled. "Admiral, with all due respect, it's just one destroyer. We outmassed them 50 to 1, our shields alone. You weren't at Proxima." Vector cut him off sharply. "You didn't see what they did to the Fifth Fleet." The bridge fell silent. Everyone had heard the rumors, even if the Empire denied them. 12 Imperial battleships destroyed or disabled by just 3 human frigates. Survivors spoke of impossible tactics. Humans fighting on, even when their ships were little more than burning wrecks. "Open a channel," Vector said finally. "Let's see if we can end this peacefully." The view screen flickered to life, showing the human commander. Captain Michael Davidson sat calmly in his chair, confidence radiating from him. He looked young by human standards, maybe 40 cycles, with close-cropped brown hair and eyes that had clearly seen war. "This is Captain Davidson of the United Earth Starship Relentless," he said evenly. "We're on lawful patrol through neutral space. Is there a problem, Admiral?" Vector chose his words carefully. "Captain Davidson, this sector falls under Imperial Protection Mandate 773. Your presence here violates that mandate." Davidson's expression didn't change. "Admiral, with respect, Earth doesn't recognize mandate. 73 under the Treaty of Alpha Centauri. This is neutral territory. We have every right to be here. The treaty is under review." "The treaty," Davidson interrupted smoothly, "is still active. Until it's officially changed, we're exactly where we're allowed to be. Unless you're saying the Galactic Empire no longer honors its agreements." Vector's scales flushed with frustration. The human was technically right, but that wasn't the point. The Empire had been quietly expanding for decades, confident no species would dare challenge it. But humans were different. "Captain," Vector said carefully, "I strongly suggest you change course for your own safety." Davidson leaned forward slightly. "Is that a threat, Admiral?" "It's a warning. This region contains hazards that let's skip the double talk." Davidson cut in, his tone hardening. "You want us gone because we've caught you extending your borders illegally. Here's my offer. You pull your claim on this sector, and we'll file our report saying we found no Imperial ships here. Everyone saves face." "Unacceptable," Vector snapped. "This sector has been under Imperial control for 3 months. "We know," Davidson said coolly. "And we also know about the mining rights you're setting up on the 4th planet. Neutral space, right? Our intel's pretty solid, Admiral." Vector felt the situation slipping away. On his tactical screen, the Relentless still held position. Shields low, weapons offline, but that meant nothing. He'd read the classified reports from Proxima. Human ships could go from idle to full combat readiness in less than 4 seconds. "Captain," Vector said slowly, "even if your claims were true, you are one ship. One small ship." Davidson smiled, a sharp, unsettling smile. "You know what I love about humans, Admiral? We're really good at math." He leaned back slightly. "Your dreadnought mounts 48 heavy plasma cannons. Impressive, but you're targeting system cycles at 0.3 seconds per lock. We've confirmed that in 3 separate encounters." Vector felt the blood drain from his face. "Our point defense system," Davidson continued, his tone casual, "can track and hit up to 200 targets at once with a 0.505 second cycle. Your plasma rounds travel at 0.47 light speed hours. 63. Fire everything you've got. We'll swat them out of the sky." "You're bluffing," Vector said, his voice tight. "Am I?" Davidson smiled wider. "Your shield emitters are on external pylons. Standard Imperial design. Efficient but exposed. We've identified 17 critical stress points in your deflector grid. One precise kinetic round, and your shields collapsed completely. Want me to highlight them for you?" The bridge went utterly silent. Vector realized his hands were trembling. "But here's the thing," Davidson said softly. "I don't want to fight you. Fighting's messy, expensive, and bad for public reports. So, here's what's going to happen. You'll withdraw your claim. We'll continue our patrol. No one dies today." "And if I refuse?" Vector asked quietly. Davidson's eyes turned cold. "Then you'll find out why the Galactic Empire has filed 3 formal complaints about human combat doctrine at the Interstellar Court. Spoiler alert, we win, Admiral. Every time. Not because we're stronger or faster, but because when we decide something matters, we don't quit ever. We'll turn our ship into a missile if we must. We'll vent our own air for an advantage. We'll do whatever it takes." Vector stared at the human commander, seeing pure conviction, not arrogance. This wasn't bluff. It was truth delivered without emotion. "You're insane," Vector whispered. "No," Davidson replied calmly. "We're human. There's a difference." "Your move, Admiral." Vector looked at his console one last time. Then at his crew, young faces full of life and promise. He remembered the survivors from Proxima, their haunted eyes, their nightmares. "Helm," he said softly. "Set course for the Tertia sector. Best speed." As the Eternal Dominion turned away, Davidson's voice came through the calm one last time. "Smart choice, Admiral. Safe travels." The channel closed. Vector slumped in his chair, his scales pale from relief and lingering fear. Prose stepped forward hesitantly. "Admiral, we could have destroyed them." Vector looked at his officer with tired eyes. "Maybe, probably not. But even if we had, 3 more would have come. Then 30, then 300, and they wouldn't start with a conversation." As the human ship disappeared from sensors, Vector began drafting his report to High Command. The Empire's plans for this sector would have to wait, perhaps forever. Because humanity, he now understood, didn't bow to strength. They bowed to will. And when it came to unbreakable determination, no force in the galaxy could match them. The Empire could rule 1,000 worlds, command endless fleets, but against humans who refused to back down. Vector wasn't sure the Empire could win, and he wasn't about to find out.